What's going on in Topeka and Shawnee County? That's where we start the recap on this edition of the Red Couch Rewind. It's where we recap some of the top stories you've seen on Eye on Northeast Kansas, the TV show. You can see it live streaming Monday through Friday, 4 o'clock Central Time from our WIBW studios in Topeka, Kansas. I'm your host, Melissa Bruner. We're pleased to have a good relationship with our leaders in Topeka and Shawnee County. They have regular spots where they come visit us and take any question we want to ask on what is happening around the area. So let's start with Topeka City Manager Dr. Robert Perez. He talked a little bit on his last visit about some electric vehicles that are going to be added to the city fleet, but he also updated us on the situation regarding Hotel Topeka. As you'll recall, the city purchased it at auction back a couple years ago now. They've been looking to sell it and have a manager take it over. Meantime, city residents have been a bit concerned because it's cost millions of dollars to do the operations and the upkeep. We're in the home stretch to finding a buyer. The sale is set to close in June, but city governing bodies this week were set to consider some delays in part of the process, and Dr. Perez explained what it means. It's not quite completely on the streets, but you got it in hand. What are we talking about?
We're talking about our city's first electric vehicle within our city fleet. This year, we are rolling out one of our FY26 strategic goals, which is to implement an electric vehicle pilot program. And so, again, we're looking at starting, kind of small, six vehicles. We actually just got our first EV truck in that we go into our public works inspections team. It's being outfitted right now with our logos and light bars, et cetera. And so between that work and then also putting in the actual charger at our holiday building, anticipate that first truck being operational here in the next 30 days.
You say 6 vehicles out of how many vehicles does the city operate in its fleet when you take a look at all the various departments that use vehicles?
Of course, you'd ask me that, but
hundreds probably.
Yeah, hundreds,
especially if you bring the police department in the fold, then you're talking a lot of. What sorts of positions are you targeting for using the electric vehicles?
Yeah, so we're looking at the positions that would be out all day, but again have an opportunity to charge overnight. So again, our inspections team within Public Works is out all day, and then they'll have an opportunity in the evenings to bring it back to holiday and charge it. So we'll be looking for those positions, those jobs, functions that would allow for a vehicle to charge overnight.
What is the hope with implementing some of these electric vehicles?
Well, it's part of expanding our sustainability portfolio. I guess on the 22nd is Earth Day, and our sustainability committee will actually be presenting its annual report to City Council on the 21st, so next Tuesday. So again, this is just in addition to things that people may not think about all the time, like bike lanes or LED light conversion. Those are all things that support a sustainability portfolio. The more bike lanes that people riding bikes out there, the less carbon is released out into the atmosphere. So again, this is just another way that the city of Topeka is trying to support sustainability efforts.
Budgetarily, how could this make sense?
Well, budgetarily, it's a couple things. Number one, they're vehicles that we have to purchase anyways for new positions within our inspections teams. But then also too, just look at the price of gas, with the volatility of gas prices and things like that. Electricity, especially the way that we're looking to charge overnight when it's less expensive, might be an opportunity budget-wise to save us some dollars.
Now, I just want to clarify, did you say these are new positions or just new vehicles as we continue to update the vehicle fleet? So
the three new inspections positions are coming online this year as part of our 26 budget to support our capital improvements. But the other ones are typically going to be replacing existing vehicles.
Okay, so you're talking about new positions, but then we also are going to transition here because you're still getting feedback on the budget situation, and we're talking about next year's budget facing a $15 million shortfall.
Right.
So what do you want people to do to figure out how to fill the hole and why sometimes these new positions make sense over some other positions?
Right, so thank you for that. Actually, for these new inspections positions, we're looking to pay contractors to do it, and so there's an opportunity for us to save funding by bringing that in-house and actually charging it to the project. So project-specific positions that are coming online. Now, as far as the budget, we do have an online survey that has been posted for about a month. It actually closes on Friday. This Friday. Dan and I took a look, and we have over 980 responses so far. And really what we're trying to do is get feedback from the community on budget priorities. Should we focus more on infrastructure? Should we focus more on public safety? How do we look at that in balancing, providing a service, but at the same time, not trying to raise taxes, trying to figure out if there is input on, hey, I'd rather, pay a little bit more in taxes to keep police, or I'd rather pay a little bit more in taxes to do more street work. Those are all things that we're trying to glean as far as information and data that both the governing body and I and the team will use to actually craft our FY 2027 budget.
Well, I can't let you get out of here when you're talking money without asking about Hotel Topeka.
Yeah.
And you've been saying now that we're in this due diligence period. Hopefully we're going to be able to get the sale finalized by summer, which would hopefully be a little bit of a savings when it comes to the budget as far as not having to continue to pay the maintenance things.
Right.
What is the update on this? Are we still on track, or what's changing?
Yeah, so we're still on track to have our closing by June 14th. Tomorrow we actually have a Topeka Development Corporation item for consideration to extend the due diligence process with Endeavor Hotel Group. They are still working on trying to finalize an agreement with the county on upgrades and management at the Manor Conference Center. I mean, at the end of the day, if we don't make the upgrades to the conference center, then the hotel is probably not going to perform well, because I think the two work hand in hand as far as bringing in conferences, bringing in events to the conference center. And without that traffic, the hotel, it's going to be a challenge. So I will take the opportunity again just to say that and to thank the Shawnee County Commissioners and their team for working on this, what I believe is a joint venture, and trying to get this asset moving.
But when we hear that word extension tomorrow, don't get nervous about it. We're still on track for June 14th.
We're still on track for June 14th. We're extending the due diligence period because they're still working on that agreement with the county, and we definitely don't want to rush that. So that's all the item is for tomorrow. It's just extension of due diligence by another month, but keeping closing the same on June 14th.
Okay, well, we'll be following all of those talks. Robert Perez, City Manager, appreciate you being here. Thank you, as always. The day after our visit, the Development Corporation did in fact grant that 1-month extension when it comes to that due diligence phase with the county. But again, as was stressed, that June closing date at this point is on track and will not be delayed. Topeka's Mayor Spencer Duncan also paid a visit to the studio on the topic of discussion for him, property taxes. We've been following the state legislature. They have since adjourned their session. Concerns, though, that they really didn't pass any real meaningful property tax relief bill. Spencer Duncan talked about that as well as some other issues. First of all, welcome.
Thank you.
Happy April.
Glad to hear there's rain coming, so that's good.
April showers. We need a few of those. You have a unique position because you are mayor, you've been a city council member before, but you also do some lobbying as your day job.
For the cities of Kansas.
For the cities in Kansas, how does that help shape your view now, or do you have a different perspective as mayor when you go in and talk about some of those issues?
Well, a little bit. But my interest is always what's best for the cities and finding that balance between what elevates itself, that the state needs to take action, and that they have to trust us at the local level to take action. And that's a difficult balance. There's some gray area in there, but that's kind of the constant thing I'm searching for.
Lawmakers come back for veto session at the end of the week, and some things that are in committee could still come to fruition. As far as the work that's been done so far, what are some of the things that maybe people haven't necessarily at home been keeping an eye on that could be beneficial for the city?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of funding that's going to continue to flow through, which was endowed as they've had some state budget issues that help us do infrastructure projects, which reduce our budget, which help us make sure that we can maintain some of the things you have here in Topeka, because they're either federal programs that go through the state or state programs. But you and I both know the number one issue everyone's talking about is property taxes, property taxes, property taxes.
And everybody said that it was going to be priority one. Well, they said that last session too.
They did, and I think they believe that. I'll tell you my frustration as someone on the local level is some of the plans they had this year that the House passed, we were okay with. We could have made work, and then they went through the grinder and they got messed up, and the end result was not workable for people or for cities. Our frustration as cities is we're right here, especially here in Topeka. Come talk to us first. And what's happened the last few years is they introduce these bills without input from the cities, and then they try to push them through, and we have to come in cities and say, we agree with where you're trying to get to, but how you're trying to get there is not functional for us or our citizens. Bring us to the table at the start of the session, and we can help them find some better property tax relief, because we both have a role to play. It's not just the states at fault. It's not just the locals. It is one system that we all have a role in, so we've got to do this cooperatively, and that's not really happening right now.
Well, as someone who gets a property tax bill, though, some things sound pretty good, like you're going to limit how much my assessment can go up every year. Yes, please, and thank you, because what happens is if your assessment goes up, even if you, Mr. City Person, hold the mill levy even, my assessment goes up. what I pay is still going to go up. So me as a homeowner getting that property tax bill, yeah, please keep my assessment level. And what's the danger there?
So that's a perfect example of if you live in Topeka over the last 5 years, your overall mill levy has gone down. But of course, to your point, your valuation, your taxes go up. So I keep saying we continue to need to lower those mill levies. But to your point, we've asked the state to address that specific issue, deal with the valuation issue, which they control. It's not the cities, the state controls that system. And those kind of tweaks that they're talking about can be made, which again will be more in sync with what we're trying to do locally.
Why isn't putting a cap on the increase the answer, if that's
No, it's
where you
part
fall?
of the answer.
It's part of the
but
answer.
It depends on what the, again, I think what you'll find over there, the issue has been 3% might be too low versus maybe it should be 7 or 8% with some wiggle room in there. And so that's when you get some of the business interests and the real estate interests who say, whoa, we don't know about 3% because that may not keep us as a state at the market of the rest of the country, but maybe the cap needs to be tweaked with. And that's what they're stuck on right now. They have a constitutional amendment there. They're having that conversation as to what the percentage should be, and they haven't agreed yet, which is why they haven't passed anything.
As a city leader, could a constitutional amendment be something that you could live with? Because
yes,
that's pretty inflexible. Once it's in the Constitution.
Well, but half of our tax policy is already in the Constitution, and that's the problem. Okay. So they need a new constitutional amendment to override the old constitutional amendments to get more to something they can then work on the state level statutorily. So they have to pass some form of constitutional amendment to get us to where we need to go.
So those are the big things you're watching. And again, yes, if things are in committee, that means they're still talking about them, which means more could still happen as the end of the week comes.
Thursday and Friday. Yeah.
I do want to ask you about a big thing that, I mean, if you drive anywhere around town, it's pretty obvious. Polk Quincy Viaduct. We are now within just a matter of months of the highway closing down through the city. So what steps are in place that we don't run into these traffic backlogs and all of that? Because originally, you know, we thought they'd detour some of the stuff up north. Well, Highway 24 is not done yet, so the official detour is around the south part of town. So how's the city preparing
So
for
if you
this?
go to topeka.org, which is our city website, you will see a Polk Quincy Viaduct update that clicks into our site and the state website, which is going to start showing you here pretty soon what all of those maneuvers are to get around it once it comes down. So I tell people, keep following that, because that's your best way. If you travel that area a lot, you'll be able to look at that map and trace your new route, which will get you there. And that's the best we can do, is make sure those routes are open, that they're working, and that people are aware of them. We're also working with all of the GPS systems to make sure that it gets mapped into those, so when people are using their Google Maps, it'll actually take them the right way instead of, wait, I can't go here anymore, it's closed off.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't object if my GPS directed me to outside, say, like some of the best restaurants in town, right? But to your point, all of those main city streets that people might logically use to get off the highway, and if they choose to go through town back to the highway, they will not be
those. The plan is
to
keep those open. I will always give the caveat. If it's not, it's because we had some sort of other issue that made us have to close down that street to fix it as quickly as possible to get it back open. But we are coordinating that accordingly so that we don't have that issue of log jams.
And I think that we both have talked before. Let's try and look at the bright side. This means people do have to come through town, maybe, and look at our town
and I think
and
it's
our
going to help
community.
some of the businesses that get a little boost in that area and go past them. And as I told you, once it's open, it sounds silly to say, ooh, the new highway is going to make a big difference. But if you go look at the designs, it's going to look really nice as part of this opening corridor down to the Capitol and downtown, and connecting Nodo and downtown Topeka a little bit better. So
it'll all make
I'm looking
sense.
forward to it. It will.
Spencer Duncan, appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let's go from the city to the county now. County Commissioner Bill Riphahn was on the Red Couch recently. The topic of discussion for him, summer. It is road construction month. There are some projects going on around Shawnee County, along with some traditional spring events. He got us up to date. This is, they always say spring is tulip time and orange cone time. They bloom all around the area as well.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the road projects first of all, because one involves a closure, Northeast Calhoun Bluff Road. What is happening there?
Okay, we're going to take out a bridge and replace it with a box culvert, and that project will probably start around the 27th of this month, depending on the weather.
For those who don't know where Calhoun Bluff Road is, what's the area we're talking?
Okay, this is between Highway 24 and K4. And so, and we aren't going to do an official detour for this one. People but just have to work around it, and we appreciate their patience on
this. And
Highway
Highway 24 already is under construction there. About how long will the closure last?
I think we should be done by September on this one.
By September. But you said bridges are something the county really can't ignore.
Yes, we have over 200 bridges. So
that's a lot.
About every year we do 5 or 6 bridge projects.
Okay.
If
So-
you don't do that many, you're going to get behind.
True. So keep an eye out for that one. Also, I ask you all the time about Northwest 46th Street because, you know, that is something a path I use a lot. So what is the latest on that project?
Okay, yeah, we're getting there. It's
Good.
moving along, but you know, it's kind of like painting a moving bus. We've tried to keep people, you know, moving through there.
Because it is open now,
It
right?
is open, yeah, and we should be done officially this fall, probably about August. We should be done September.
Okay.
Right somewhere in there.
A little bit of final complete, then those finishing things, and hopefully by November,
There's always
totally.
that little punch list at the end of every project. Takes a little time.
Are there any more closures related to this or lane reductions, or will it just be kind of be aware that things might be a little narrower?
Just going to be a little narrower, yeah. And, you know, we have the roundabouts now through there, and I think they serve a great purpose. They slow people down, but yet they keep traffic moving. If electricity goes out, you don't need, it's not
Don't
the same
worry
problem
about the
with
flashing
light.
signals.
Right,
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's talk about fun stuff now.
Okay.
Because I know that's what you love. Your heart is always in Parks and
It
Rec.
is.
And one of the great events kicks off tonight, actually, right?
That's correct.
We have a video from last year's Tulips at Twilight.
Yes.
This year's is tonight.
Tulips at Twilight starts tonight. It's a great event. We have fantastic volunteers out there, and they create all these fabricated, larger-than-life flowers. We'll have buildings open for people to tour. We're going to run from 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock each night, and it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're not open on Monday and Tuesday, but on Fridays and Saturdays we'll have buildings open with music. And
Oh, fun.
And if you haven't been in some of the buildings, it's great to see those. But you need to be out there when it's dark because it's just magical when they light the place up.
It absolutely is. $7 for adults, kids and seniors $5, 5 and under free. And the flowers themselves for Tulip Time, how are they doing around the area?
They're not as good as last year.
Hopefully better than my yard, because yes,
Yeah.
that 10-degree day really did a number on
we
things.
had that cold snap, and it did take its toll on some of the tulips, but we still have quite a few out there, and it's still a good show. It's good to go out there just a little before dark so you can see the real tulips, and then hang around until it gets
for
dark,
Ward Mead,
and
yeah.
then it just turns into a whole nother place.
Definitely. I want to also have you touch on real quickly. We did a big story on it earlier this week. Crossover tennis courts. There have been
Right.
some improvements and expansion there. How big a deal is this?
This is a big deal. Crossover, we had 18 courts, now we have 22. And the reason that's important is now we can get sectional and regional tournaments where they require that many courts. And we took all the courts and resurfaced them, and beyond the new ones. And then we put in LED lighting so it's brighter out there. We put in some beautiful shade structures. I mean, they're big, and which is great for the spectators as well as the athletes in
Yes.
between sets. They can get in and out of the sun. So
And it is a summer activity, so.
it is.
And you're saying that those bigger tournaments might be a little bit before we really see all that kind of come to fruition as far as like national tournaments.
Yes. But this is the first step. Would have
Yeah.
to have the facility ready, and the Topeka Tennis Association has been great. They bought all new benches for all the courts, and they bought a drinking fountain they can fill their jugs up with and all that. So.
Well, it'll be fun, and already I know it's a busy place. So
It
lots
is.
of things going on. Bill Riphahn, as always, we appreciate you updating us.
Thank you very much.
That's your update on what's going on around Topeka and Shawnee County when it comes to government. But we have had a lot of guests tell us about some great events and activities that'll be happening around the area. We'll get a look at a few of those when your Red Couch Rewind continues. Welcome back into the Red Couch Rewind. Topeka has so many small businesses. I'm sure your area does as well. And each year, the Greater Topeka Chamber of Commerce and Go Topeka and the Greater Topeka Partnership join together in order to recognize a few of them. The annual Small Business Awards are right around the corner. Stephanie Norwood from GTP visited to let us know what's in store. Welcome to you.
Thank you.
Small businesses are so important.
Yes.
Why do we love to recognize them? What do they do for our community?
They do so much. I mean, they're the reason that we have a variety of products. We have different unique experiences in town. They're the backbone and the highest employer in our community. So it's important that we support them and celebrate them.
Absolutely. When you talk about how much a small business puts back into the economy, there's some kind of dollar figure, right?
Yes, I want to say it's somewhere around like 86 cents per dollar goes back into your community. But you can double check me on that. But it's it's a high percentage of every dollar because it goes to payroll, it goes to those people then spending money outside, it goes to vendors that support that business. So it's really important that when we support them, we're really supporting our full community.
So the Small Business Awards are something you do every year. You had solicited nominations from the community. You have 18 finalists here. My goodness. What are some of the different categories that you have people recognized in?
Yeah, so we have minority-owned, women-owned, micro businesses, those with less than 5 employees. We have the Legacy Award for businesses 10 years and older. We have something new this year. We have the Golden Spoon Award.
Yeah, tell me about that one, the Golden Spoon Award.
So this is specifically for restaurants, caterers, food trucks, those food entrepreneurs that bring us such great variety and spice and flavor in our community.
Well, and spice, I see what you did there. I'm going to tell you that the nominees this year, I don't know how you're going to choose this. Wheelbarrow, T-Box, and Bobby's Food Co.
All so good.
So good.
Yeah.
And they're like, I would have had like 50 nominees in that category personally, but so it's not necessarily, oh, this is our favorite food. How do you choose the winners? Because for example, the micro enterprises, Oleander Catering, Yes Athletics, Irrigonagarai, and Riphahn. I mean, that's 3 totally different types of businesses when you look there. Even the Legacy in Business Award, KBS Constructors, Hazel Hill, Cortez Transportation. Again, 3 very different companies nominated for the Legacy Award. So what are you looking for when selecting the winner?
So we take these nominations from the public for several months and we close it and take all of our final returned applications to a committee. And that committee has really long and deep conversations and we go over their growth, whatever we know about their P&Ls and their growth and their scales, their company culture, their goals, their commitment to the community and the things that they do for that. But also it's about the hustle. It's about what they're doing to help themselves to keep evolving and stay not only relevant but successful in this current environment. It's important that they are putting so much into themselves as well as their employees. So we're looking at so many different angles here. And it really takes into some really deep and thoughtful and really empathetic conversations about being a business owner in this day and age. So it is a very hard discussion. And sometimes you're comparing 2 completely different industries for the same category. But it shows us that we have really good people behind the scenes here.
Oh, goodness, we do. So the event is a little bit different this year. It's in May. What is it going to entail?
Yeah, on May 7th, we are going to get together right after work. So we're doing more of a cocktail style festivities. So that way we can celebrate after hours, but not so much into the evening that we're taking away from family time. I think this is going to be a nice balance of like keeping it a work event, but also being able to invite friends and family to celebrate with you.
So you'll have a few heavy hors d'oeuvres, some sweet treats. 5 o'clock is the start time. They'll have you out of there. I'm the MC, so I guess I'm the one who determines this. We'll be out of there, folks. No. Between 7:30, we want to adequately celebrate our small businesses and the winners, because the winners will be announced at that time, Thursday, May 7th, Topeka Social. Tickets are just $60. Go topeka.com/small-business/awards. I will have a direct link on WIBW.com if you are interested in attending. Can't wait to see who wins.
Yes.
I have all the nominees that will be listed online as well. Stephanie,
Wonderful.
thank you. Appreciate
Thank you.
Can't wait to find out the winners. I never know in advance either. I'm emceeing and I know when I open the envelope. So it's always very exciting and fun to recognize some of the fantastic businesses around the area. We have a car show coming up. The Topeka Mustang Club has a car show on April 25th. So really right around the corner as you're listening to this. Michael Burdick and Roger Belanger visited to tell us the very special cause and reason behind their car show. Welcome to both of you.
Welcome.
It's so
Thank
good
you.
to see you both. This is super fun. This is the 2nd year, Michael, for the car show?
Yes,
So-
at Fairlawn Plaza.
At Fairlawn Plaza. What is it all about and what can people expect to see and who can all take part?
Anyone, this is an all makes and models.
So even though it's the Mustang Club, they'll let other folks come.
Exactly. Exactly. We used to have one that was just Fords and Mustangs, but we've changed and just opened it up completely.
So how anybody can sign up and take part?
Yes. To come up and
And-
show the day of the show.
Day of the show. It's not advanced at all.
No.
And then what do you want the public to do?
Come and hang out, bring things, enjoy it.
What is so cool about car shows to you?
The community, meeting the different people, and just finding out how all we have in common.
This one is very special because it supports the Wounded Warriors Family Support Organization. Roger, I understand you are a veteran.
Yes, I am.
Where did you serve and when?
Let's see, I served in Vietnam in 66, 67. And after 4 years, then I enlisted in the Kansas Army National Guard and retired from the Kansas Army National Guard.
And when did that happen?
in 95.
So that was like 30 years of your life that you
Yes.
donated and dedicated to our nation. Thank you
Yes.
so much, first of all, for that.
thank you.
So when you think about the importance of the Wounded Warriors Family Support, what do they do that is so vital?
Well, what they do is they build vehicles for the soldier that's disabled. So everything is functional for them to drive and to go places instead of being stuck at home or wherever. I mean, they can go out and enjoy and go shopping.
They can be independent.
Exactly.
Yes. And then for the families as well, I understand there's some respite care and other support they give families
Yes,
too.
correct. Yeah.
When you saw amongst your colleagues, did people need those services?
Oh, yes, they do. Yes.
How big of a difference does it make?
Oh, a lot. Mainly, mentally, yes. It makes them part of the society. So. Yeah.
And now you love Mustangs as well?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, I purchased my first Mustang. It was a 66. This was in 1980, and there was no club in 1980, so a partner and I decided to form this club. I am the founder of the organization.
So how cool is it to use your love to support those who've served our country?
Oh, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you still have the 66 Mustang?
No, I have a 65 convertible.
Okay, that'll work.
Yes.
How many cars do you have?
3.
Only 3.
But 2 Mustangs.
2 Mustangs.
2 Mustangs. I won't mention the other one.
Okay. How about you, Michael?
3.
3.
3 Mustangs.
And 3 Mustangs.
Yes.
What years are they?
2 of them are 96s, and the other one's a 67.
Okay, so you've kind of run the gamut there.
Yes.
You know, my husband will claim it's the Mustang that he once purchased. That is why I started dating him. That's what he claims. I don't know, but he doesn't have it anymore. But and besides a Mustang, what's your favorite car?
It's been a Mustang. That's all I've ever known.
You did bring this to show. This is the top 20 entries are going to get these awards.
Yes, ma'am.
And so what is the entry fee? You said people can sign up day of. So what is the entry fee and how do they go about doing that?
$20 cash the day of the show. We will do credit card. They can make the $20 plus any donations they want to make towards Wounded Warrior the day of the show.
And we would love to have folks make additional donations, of course.
Also, one thing that's evolved since we last spoke, we're doing a Mustang Day at Tortilla Jack's on April 22nd. They've agreed to do 10% of the gross sales of that day towards Wounded Warrior.
All right, so mark your calendar for
April
the
22nd.
22nd of April for Tortilla Jack's for
It's a
a
Wednesday.
give back. And then on the 25th is when the actual car show is happening out at Fairlawn Plaza. It will be 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Fairlawn Plaza is kind of a happening place during the month of April. Again, if you have any questions, you can email Topeka Mustang Club Inc. at gmail.com or go to their website, TopekaMustangClubInc.org. They've got the details there, plus a link to the Wounded Warriors Family Support Group website as well. Roger, Michael, thank you both.
Thank you.
Have
Thank
fun.
you very
Good
much.
to
Thank
see
you.
you. Definitely hope you go and check that out. Also visiting the studio, Doorstep Inc. This is an organization with a lot of history and they have a big milestone coming up this year. A lot of things will be going on to celebrate it. Some of those are going on right now. There's a lot of demand for the services that Doorstep provides. And so they have some fundraisers underway. We got to hear about those as well as how they're going to be marking their 60th anniversary. Lisa Kane and Jason Parker visited the studio. And Jason's trying to snuggle up and he doesn't quite know how because this is one way it's too big. For those who aren't familiar, Lisa, what's the backstory here? What happened 6 decades ago that gave Doorstep its start?
So Doorstep was kind of, getting put together, and then the tornado came through and threw it all into action. So the tornado's 60th year, it's our 60th year, and we continue to
Jason finally got his quote in order over there. So really, this is an outgrowth of the 66 tornado, and churches came together?
There's 6 churches in Central Topeka that started Doorstep that wanted to help the people in their neighborhoods on their doorsteps.
And how has that grown today, Jason? What do you continue to do today?
Serving many of our community members food and other assistances that we offer. We're constantly busy.
Constantly busy. And we've
Much
talked
need.
before when you've been on here, how much has the demand increased in recent years?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Nearly
Especially,
exponentially
yeah.
if you look at just pure numbers of how much we've spent to keep up with the demand. But it's good because we have a lot of community support as well.
Absolutely. And part of that community support is why we're holding these quilts. So this is this is part of the red shirt. It's not part of the quilt. Part of what you are doing, this is one fundraiser. If we all have our little quilts here, you are having a quilt raffle.
Yes, so we have our appreciation banquet, and then we have a quilt raffle with that. But you can buy tickets online. So we have 13 different quilts that are $1 a piece, and then
the chances.
The chances.
The chances are $1 a piece.
Yes.
15
and then
of those.
15?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
15 of just these?
With of all different sizes.
Okay, so this one is the state seal and is patriotic. Obviously, it's America 250, so why wouldn't you want to choose chances on that one? Yours is K-State. Yours is the Chiefs. Oh, I see a little Travis Kelce going there. So all you have to do is buy these online?
These chances are $2 each, and you can pick which themed quilt you want. We also have Washburn University and the Royals.
Oh.
So we have a wonderful volunteer that she collects the
I was going to ask who
t-shirts.
made these.
Yeah, she collects the t-shirts all year, and then she puts these together for us.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. And you're going to draw the winners at your volunteer appreciation. Real quick, how many volunteers does it take to make Doorstep run?
Events and everything, probably 200 plus.
So you've got lots of folks to show appreciation for,
yes.
including the person who made these beautiful earrings, which is another fundraiser you
Yes.
have going on.
Yes.
How do we get those, and who's doing that?
So they're at Cafe Ketzel at 21st and Bell. This lady, when she retired, this is what she wanted to do, and she makes these earrings out of different tins. And then she puts them there, and every month is a different nonprofit that receives the sales from it.
And so this month is
Doorstep.
Doorstep. So through April, just go to 21st and Bell over there. It's in that little kind of, so if you go across the street from Helping Hands, on the other side of the street, the south side of the street, there's a little strip mall there, and you'll find the cafe in there. It's so cute. And this is all tin?
Yeah.
Awesome. We also want people to save the date for something else, because June is the big 60th anniversary event. What do you have planned for June, Jason?
So we are going to be doing what we call Neighbor Fest, and it is going to be a family-friendly event. We want to bring lots of people out. So on top of our 9th annual walk and fun run, which you are the celebrity starter for. Thank you very
We're
much.
using the term run loosely, just FYI, folks.
You can
Don't be afraid to come out.
Chris walked before. You can walk.
Okay.
There's a mile walk
Calling
and
out
the
Chris
5K
Fisher.
fun run. You can walk the 5K if you want.
Or just 1 mile.
And we're also going to have other activities there, face painting, balloon art, food trucks,
car show.
That's
awesome. By the way,
big
this
one I'm
QR
excited
code
for.
that you see, if you pull your phone out right now, scan that QR code, that's going to take you right to the place where you can buy the quilt raffle chances. But really, it's going to be a whole family day on June 6th that you want people to come out for.
Yes.
Celebrate Doorstep.
And then we'll have an announcement of the future of Doorstep while
big
we're
announcement.
there.
In June?
In June.
Man, I have to wait that long? Tell me. No one will hear. Okay, so that's what you call a tease, folks. So get your raffle chances right now. I'm going to have the direct link to it on WIBW.com after the show as well. Stop by Cafe Ketzel and get that also. Jason, Lisa, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And happy early birthday, Doorstep.
Yes.
Gotta love it.
Yes.
Check out those quilts that they have those raffle chances for sale, and then mark your calendars for June, when we will be marking 60 years of Doorstep Inc. doing some great work in the Topeka community. You can see the complete videos of these and all our guests who appeared on Eye on Northeast Kansas when you head to WIBW.com. Just click the Eye on Northeast Kansas section. We have our own section for these video segments on your Roku and streaming apps as well. Take care, everyone, and until next time, we'll see you on the Red Cap.